Hi, I'm Keith, and welcome to my weekly blog, Up the Peak. Today, we're going to talk about change in diet, a change in my workout routine, and my weight loss progress. This week with the diet, I stuck primarily to the oatmeal for breakfast, the salad for lunch, and the grilled chicken with the steamed veggies for dinner. But I also did change it up a little bit. I added some more variety to my diet. Variety is really important. When you're losing weight, when you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to just eat the same thing every day. So what I did this week was I added a simple 3-ingredient meal to my diet. It was a shrimp pesto pasta, which consists of 50 grams of shrimp, 15 grams of pesto, and about 56 grams of pasta. It's real simple to cook. Boil the pasta. While that's boiling, you thaw out the shrimp. Then I like to fry the shrimp in a pan. I add the pesto in there. I mix it in, and then I add the pasta to it, mix it in, and it makes a quick, simple meal, and I add a salad to it for a little bit extra. Also this week, I decided, since it was National Pizza Day on Friday, to make myself a pizza. Now, when I was a kid, my mom used to make those little English muffin pizzas for us, and it was this nice little treat. So I decided to revisit an old love. I used a high-fiber Thomas English muffin, that's about 100 calories. I used a ragu pizza sauce, it's about 45 calories per serving. I used about half that. And I used a low-fat mozzarella cheese. I also added some veggies. So what I did was I got the English muffin, I put the sauce on it, I put down a slice of tomato on each one, I put down some mushrooms, I put the cheese on, and then I sprinkled some red pepper on top. I baked it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 11 minutes. It was a nice change up for the week. Added some more flavor, and I also had a salad with it because, once again, I'm a big fan of the salad. So this week with fitness, I'm doing something different. Instead of showing the entirety of me like, "Hi, this is Keith. This is day whatever. I'm going to go take a walk." And then, "Hey, I just finished my walk. Ugh." I decided to take all that footage separately, and I'm going to post it on a video either later today or sometime in the week. I'm going to take little bits and pieces from that, and I'm going to incorporate it into this while I talk about my actual fitness progress this week. Now, unfortunately, I did have an incident on day one. It was snowy, it was icy, but I still wanted to attempt 4 laps because, I was a man on a mission. So while I was into the first lap, I hit a patch of ice, and I didn't fall, but I twisted my right leg enough to where I sprained it pretty badly. But I did manage to power through that walk. I don't think that was necessarily a good idea, but I was very driven that day, and I did it anyway. My time wasn't that good. I did it in just under 34 minutes, but I was very proud that I had accomplished it. But sometimes when you injure yourself, you tend to do more damage than good that early on. But like I said, I tried anyway. So what happened on day 2 was the leg was really hurting, and we had gotten a lot of snow that night. So instead of walking, I decided to shovel. It turns out shoveling snow burns a lot of calories. What I did was there were days where the times varied. Some days it wasn't as long as others. When the town plows the streets, there's always this huge buildup of this packed snow at the end of your driveway. Anyone that's shoveled out their walk-in driveway knows what I'm talking about. Now, in my case, I have a double driveway. I have a neighbor next door who's like late 80s, maybe even 90, who's too old to shovel their walk or their driveway now. So I shovel my walk and driveway, and I shovel their walk and their driveway. There were days when it was packed in a lot this week where it took me a good hour and 40 minutes of shoveling, and I also shoveled off my back deck a few times too. So the times varied, and also with the times, because snow shoveling is something that you can find under the exercise on the MyFitness website. I shoveled for an hour and 40 minutes one day, which I did. I would take 30 minutes off that time to try to compensate for any downtime I might have had if I stopped to get a breather, had to pull up my sweatpants. There was a few times my sweatpants started falling off, and I didn't want to like mentally scar anybody, so I'd have to hike those up every few minutes. Well, not every few minutes, but enough. Don't worry, no one saw nothing they didn't want to see. Trust me, I was very careful about that. That was my workout for the week. You know, I had to adapt because I couldn't walk. Even if the leg was okay, which it's a lot better now, there was too much snow on the track. Now I could have gone maybe on sidewalks and streets, but the problem with that is you come across intersections and sometimes you'll have to stop, so you're at a stop and go pace. And when I'm walking, I just want to keep walking. I want to push through. Now, I might not have the option this upcoming week to use the track because it's still covered in snow, so I might actually have to do that stop and go thing, because as long as you're walking, I guess it's still good to be walking. So let's talk about the weight loss progress this week. Now, when I set out, when I started 2 weeks ago, I was 407.5 pounds. And my goal was to try to get under 400 pounds for the first weigh-in. And I'm proud to say I did it. I pulled it off. I lost just over 18 pounds in 2 weeks. And that was great. Now, these weight loss results are a little typical sometimes when you first start working out and exercising when you're this heavy. You got to think about it. I spent months just sitting around doing the bare minimum physical activity and eating excessively. So I gained this weight relatively quickly over the last year. So now that I'm getting back into dieting properly and getting in exercise, the weight is going to come off a little quick in the beginning. These weight loss results aren't going to be typical, but they are a little expected in the beginning, at least for me. So it was very encouraging to see it. And full confession, when I did see those results, I felt amazing. Because, it was a good accomplishment, but sometimes in your mind you feel better. You think you look better than what you really do. So in my mind I look something like this, when in reality I still look like this. It still felt good. You know, I see these videos on YouTube, and it's a person, you know, that does these amazing transformations, but it's usually like these 6-minute videos where like it opens and there's some photographs of them being heavy and overweight, and there's this inspirational music playing, and ooh, you know, and these photos of like, you know, that was me, I was at my heaviest, you know, and it shows over the course of 6 minutes how they do this transformation with these little clips of footage here and there. And I think they're great. Every one of those people I salute, I applaud them. And for me, I just, you know, I want to go through this in real time. You know, each week that I make progress, I want to update it, whether anyone's watching it or not. A friend of mine, when I was losing the weight a couple of years ago, a friend of mine, she said, you should really be documenting this. And, you know, at the time, I was like, oh, yeah, sure, you know, but I never did it. And I always, you know, I did kind of regret that. Maybe I regretted it too much because I got fat again, because I was still fat. It's so funny. When I got under 300 pounds the last time, I was like, yeah, I look good. But then I think back to my military days. You know, my last year in the military, after my second tour in Iraq, is when the weight gain really started. And I remember maybe a month after I was out of the service, I was up to 270 pounds. And I was like, oh, I'm so obese. And it's so funny how in that time period, oh, I'm so obese. But in this time period, I got under 300 pounds. I was in the 290s, and I was like, yeah, looking good, looking real good, you know, and I don't, you know, and it's just, it's funny how the mind does stuff like that to you. I know this is boring right now. I know this is a guy talking to a camera and showing some little video clips. Hopefully, as the weeks go on, the weather improves, I can start doing more with these videos. I can start showing more with these videos. In review, I added some flavor to the diet. I had to adapt to my workout routine. And I had some significant progress with the weight loss. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button. This is my Philip DeFranco impersonation. If you like what you saw, if you like what you saw, I can't do it. I can't do Philip DeFranco. He's awesome. I like his show. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button. Subscribe. Maybe share it. Maybe this can help some people, but hopefully, ultimately, it helps me. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week for the Week 3 progress update.